Ever pondered on the dynamic relationship between man and nature? From the dawn of time, there's been an inherent bond, a sublime symphony between man and nature. We were once part of this grand orchestra, living in harmony with the world around us. Our ancestors understood the rhythm of the seasons, the language of the winds, the whispers of the forest. They respected nature, not as a resource to exploit, but as a partner in life's journey. Yet, what happens when that harmony breaks? Man, in his quest for progress, started to disrupt this balance. It was the dawn of the Industrial Revolution, a period of rapid industrialization that marked the transition from hand production methods to machines. This era, though progressive, sparked the beginning of man's unscientific and anti-nature actions. The once harmonious relationship between man and nature was starting to crumble as industries boomed and factories mushroomed across the globe. Forests, the lungs of our planet, were razed to make way for expanding cities and industries. These lush green landscapes, once teeming with life, were replaced with concrete jungles and smoke-spewing factories. Deforestation was rampant, and with it came the loss of biodiversity, the disruption of ecosystems, and the acceleration of climate change. At the same time, our rivers, lakes, and oceans were being polluted with industrial waste. Our air was filled with smog, and our soils contaminated with hazardous chemicals. The once pristine and life-giving elements of nature were now carriers of disease and death. And let's not forget about the rampant exploitation of natural resources. We mined our earth, drained our oceans, and depleted our forests without a second thought. Every resource we could lay our hands on was seen as a means to fuel our progress, our economies, and our insatiable appetite for consumption. Despite the clear signs of environmental distress, there was a blatant disregard for scientific warnings. Scientists around the world were sounding the alarm, cautioning us about the dire consequences of our actions. Yet their warnings fell on deaf ears. The pursuit of progress, it seemed, was blinding us to the truth. All these actions, done in the name of progress, brought about unforeseen consequences. Our actions, driven by ignorance and greed, disrupted the delicate balance of nature. We forgot that we were not separate from the environment, but a part of it. And as we continued on this path of destruction, we set in motion a chain of events that would lead to our own grief and suffering. Nature, in its own way, began to retaliate. When we upset the delicate balance, repercussions are inevitable. And so they came, in forms both subtle and severe. Climate change, a term we've heard so often it's almost become white noise, is a direct consequence of our ignorance. As we pumped greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, the Earth's temperature began to rise, leading to melting ice caps, rising sea levels, and more frequent and intense heat waves. But the fury of nature doesn't stop there. Natural disasters, once occasional occurrences, have become more frequent and more intense. Hurricanes, floods, wildfires, earthquakes, these are not just headlines. They are the Earth's cry for help, a plea for us to stop our destructive ways. And then there's the silent killer, species extinction. By destroying habitats and disrupting ecosystems, we've caused the rapid loss of biodiversity. The disappearance of even a single species can have a ripple effect, leading to unexpected consequences in the food chain. The long-term effects are no less alarming. Our health is at risk, with increasing instances of respiratory diseases, skin cancers, and other conditions linked to our environmental recklessness. Food scarcity looms large as changing weather patterns affect crop yields. The economy, too, is not immune. As resources dwindle and disaster recovery costs skyrocket, we face a future of economic instability. Man's suffering is a direct result of his own actions, and it's high time we face the consequences and made a change. But it's not too late to change our course. The path to redemption lies in understanding, appreciation, and respect for the world we inhabit. A life aligned with science and nature isn't just about survival. It's about thriving. It's about breathing cleaner air, consuming healthier food, and enjoying the stability of our climate. Imagine a world where our actions contribute positively to the environment instead of stripping it bare. A world where we harness the power of the sun, wind, and water to fuel our lives. A world where our food doesn't poison us, but nourishes us. A world where we don't just survive, but thrive. Sustainable living is not a distant dream. It's a very achievable reality. and it starts with you. Each choice you make, each action you take can bring us one step closer to this reality. Change starts with you. Embrace a scientific and nature-friendly lifestyle today for a better tomorrow.